to tell you a little bit about him. I just found out something really neat. I knew that he was from Ponca City, but I did not know that when he was little like you, he came to school at Trout Elementary. Isn't that cool? He was walking down, he said, that was my fifth grade class. He knew exactly where it was. And he remembered things that he used to do in the gym here at Trout. So that's pretty neat. He went to school here when he was your age. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him. He went to college first at the University of Arkansas. And then he got wise and he came to Oklahoma and went to the right school, the University of Oklahoma. Woo! And got his degree in meteorology. And he's been working at Channel 9 News in Oklahoma City for about 7 years now. And he's got some neat things for you guys to learn about. You know that right now is severe weather season, right? And that means, you know we have bad storms and sometimes tornadoes. So he's going to tell you about that. He likes to storm chase. That means when there's tornadoes, he gets in his car and goes and chases them. That's brave. I wouldn't want to do that. It'd be fun to watch, but oh, it'd be kind of scary. So he's going to tell you a little bit about his experience doing that. So I want you guys to really show him a lot of respect, okay? Be good listeners. Keep your attention on him. He's got a video to show you during his presentation. So show him how Trout tornadoes act and that you're good kids and that you welcome your guests, okay? Oh, we have something for him. No. We have a Trout tornado hat for him. Has Armstrong in the back. Isn't that pretty neat? So I'm going to present this to him and tell him thank you for coming. You guys give him a welcome.
Might have to loosen it up a little bit. My head's bigger than what expected. Go figure, I'm on TV, right? All right. Well, it's great to be back here in Ponca City. I grew up within walking distance of this school, right over there on El Camino. If you were to go out the gym and go right on the El Camino, in fact, all the houses that are back here by your playground, those weren't there when I was little. We made trails on our bikes and rode up and down, and I would walk to school through that field right there where all those houses are. So things have changed a lot since I was in school, a lot. Even the buildings around your school right now were not there when I went to school here. It was just this main building where the gym connects over right over here to these first couple of classrooms. Then we had the long hallway that went down there, and one other side, and there was no other buildings attached to it. So this school is a lot bigger than what I remember whenever I came to school here. I played in this gym when I was your age. No kidding. I was a little bitty boy playing, and I played basketball in here on a team. We called them the Trout Tornadoes, just like you guys are right now. And they had a big cargo net over here that they would drop down from the ceiling, and we would crawl up on it. And I remember that we had these fitness challenges is what they were called. Do you guys have those sometimes where you run and jump and test yourselves and see how fast you are? Well, I was the fastest boy in Trout school when I was a kid. So I was pretty excited about that. And that was one of the big things that I remember about being at Trout. And do you guys ever get to go on field trips? Yeah? Well, when I was a boy, we took a field trip one time up to Ark City, Kansas, which is up north of here, and we went to the Crayola factory, and I got to learn about how crayons were made. And so that was one of the cool things I got to do. And we did egg drops off the roof. We had a few kids would go up, and we would have to build some kind of carton or something that would protect an egg, and when you threw it off, if the egg didn't break, you won a prize. You guys ever do that? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. Maybe some of you have. Okay. Well, I'll tell you that, listen, you guys growing up here in Ponca City, going to school here, you can do anything that you want to do. I'm on television now in Oklahoma City. You can go anywhere in the world. You can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it, okay? When I first started growing up, I played trumpet. In fact, I learned first how to play the trumpet right here at Trout School. And then I went into band when I got up into junior high and then into high school. And at that time, we went through 6th grade here at Trout, okay? So then whenever I went out of 6th grade, I went into 7th, 8th, and 9th grade at East Junior High, and then I went to the high school. And I was the drum major for a while as well, my senior year in high school, so I got to do a lot of fun things, like learn to play trumpet, but I really figured out that weather was a lot more interesting to me than even music was. So I learned how to play the trumpet. And so we went to University of Arkansas for a little while, as Ms. Birch mentioned, and then I came back to University of Oklahoma, and I started doing some storm chasing. And Gary England, the chief meteorologist, my boss at News 9, thought enough of me to hire me on. First of all, as an intern, which means I went and did a lot of work, but I didn't get paid for it. That's what that means. And then I ended up getting a job at News 9, and here I am. And I am on the weekend mornings from 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when you will see me on News 9 on Saturday and Sunday, okay? So if you want to be up early on Saturday morning, in a few days coming up, I will be on there. So you can watch me then. And we're going to talk a lot about safety today. I know there are some questions out here, and we will get to those later, okay? I promise. I will not forget about you on your questions, okay? So I will do all that at the end. But we want to talk a lot about thunderstorms, because this is the big time of year for thunderstorms, right? What I want you all to really pay attention to today, okay, is if you don't have a tornado safety plan, if you went home today and all of a sudden we came on your TV and we said, hey, there's a tornado, it's headed for Ponca City, it's coming right down Prospect, and it looks like it's going to maybe hit Trout School or somewhere close to it. I want you to know exactly what you would do if we came on your TV and said that, okay? Because it's very, very important to know what to do. If you don't know what to do and you don't have a plan in place, you'll tend to panic and you'll be really, really scared if the storm comes. And you may not make the right decision to help keep you safe and keep your dogs and your cats safe and everything else, okay? So I want you to really pay attention today, especially when I play the video, because I have a video, and Gary will be talking a lot about thunderstorm safety and tornadoes and how to stay safe from them. And then I will tell you what, after that, after I play this video, I'll have a few of you come up with me, and we'll do a little demonstration for everybody, and talk some more about storm safety and stuff like that, and then I'll answer some questions from you, okay? All right, I'm really excited to be here. We're going to play this video. Now, we need to do some experiments. Like I said, I'm going to need some volunteers for this, okay? So I'm going to need a couple of people to help me out. Let's see, I need a real pretty girl with straight hair that's not put up in a ponytail to do this first demonstration. Let me see if I can find her. Who we got? Real straight hair. Let's see. I'll tell you what, let's see if your hair works. Come on up here. I think we're gonna try this out, okay? Now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how lightning forms, okay? I'll tell you what, would you mind if we step up on stage so everybody can see you? Okay, go ahead and walk up around there and I'll follow you. See if I can do this with a balloon in one hand and a microphone in my other, okay? So what happens when you rub a balloon on your head, do you know? Static electricity, right? You know, that's kind of like lightning, okay? I'll show you more about lightning here in a second. But we're going to see if we can get her hair to stand up real good, okay? You okay if I mess up your hair a little bit? She's good. She's okay with that. That's amazing. My wife would go crazy if I tried to mess up her hair. All right, let's see if we can get this to stand up real good. Let's see. Look at that! Oh, man! Oh, my goodness! Look at that! All right, so that's what happens. Listen, if you're outside, all right, that's pretty funny, isn't it? All right, if you're outside and your hair stands up like hers did, but you don't have a balloon over top of your head, that means lightning is about to strike, okay? That means there's positive charges and there's negative charges in the atmosphere. And when those positive charges start building up on the ground, and they get up on top of buildings and on top of trees, and that's why, by the way, cows aren't too smart. Cows go walk under a tree, and that's why lots of cows get hit by lightning. You don't want to be under a tree, okay? All that positive charge flows up at the top of there. So if your hair ever stands up like hers, listen up. If your hair ever stands up like hers, I'm going to show you what to do, okay? Thank you. You can go sit down now. All right. Give her a hand. She did a good job. All right. Her hair worked a lot better this time than the last time I tried that. The little girl's hair didn't stand up, and all the kids thought that was really funny that I messed it up. All right. Now whoa, there it is. All right. Now, okay, here's what we're going to do. I need, let's see, I need 3 more volunteers to come up. And let's see, let's get somebody from the back. How about you in the blue and white shirt? Yeah, you? I'm sorry. Go ahead, that's fine. You guys both can come up. Go ahead and come up. You with the backpack. Yep. All right, and we need 1 more, so let's get somebody from this side of the room. Let's see, how about the little boy in the pink shirt back here? There you go. Come on up. Okay, don't worry, there's going to be more, okay? We've got a few more we can do. So everybody come on up on stage for me. We'll stand over here on this side. Don't step on my hat, okay? All right, well, we can do 4, that's fine. You stand right here next to me. Okay, so if your hair starts to stand up, like her hair did, right? Okay, or you hear thunder or something, and you think lightning's about to strike real close to you, or maybe even hit you. What you do is you get down on your knees. So I want you guys to all get down on your knees, okay? And crouch down. Now take your hands behind your head and put them down just like him. That's right. That's what you do. What you're doing is you want to roll up into a tiny little ball and make yourself as little as possible. That way, if lightning hits, it'll have less of a chance of hitting you, okay? All right, you guys can stand up. That's what you do, though, okay? All right, really good. You guys can head on that one. All right. In my next experiment, I'll tell you what, teachers, you can probably help me out with this one. Let's pick 5 kids from this side of the room and 5 kids from that side of the room, and we're going to have them come up and do another little experiment. So. Okay, so everybody up here, except for 2 people, they're going to be thunderstorm. They're going to be our thunderstorm, okay? And if you would, go stand right next to her, okay? All right. So look at your piece of paper and see if you have a plus sign or a minus sign. If you have a plus sign, I want you to walk way over there, and I want all my minus signs to be right over here. All right? Okay. So this is what happens. This is how lightning forms, okay? I talked to you about positive and negative charges. Well, here's what happens. These folks over here, they're all positive. That means they're real nice. They're negative, they're mean, okay? No, they're not mean. You guys aren't mean, are you? You guys are nice. Okay. So here's what happens, okay? Now, here's how I want you to think of this, okay? These negative charges are kind of floating around up in the air, way up high in the clouds, okay? So just imagine them flying up way high where the airplanes fly around. Now, these kiddos right here are on the ground where we are, okay? And you picture them climbing up to the top of a tree house or standing up on top of a building or something like that. And what happens is when a thunderstorm comes along, like these 2 right here, they're going to be our thunderstorm. What they do is they take these negative charges that are over here and they start collecting them together, all right? So I want you guys to kind of get real close together, all right? Way up high, so you're up in the clouds, okay? And you guys step right over here. Now, so a thunderstorm comes along, and now picture these 2 as rain, okay? They're starting to rain down, so the raindrops are starting to fall down. What I need all of you guys to do is start walking slowly, take 3 steps toward them, okay? So now it's raining. Everybody, thunderstorms, move over here. All the minus signs move over here, okay? So now it's raining. It's starting to rain a little bit harder. There might even be a little bit of hail starting to fall, okay? Little pieces of ice hail, right? All right, the thunderstorm's getting stronger. Everybody move a little bit closer. Okay, so these negative charges are building and building up in these clouds and in the rain, and they're getting closer and closer to the positive charges, okay? So the way you can picture this is that kind of like if, say, somebody over here was a girlfriend and somebody over here was a boyfriend. All right, I knew you'd get a kick out of that. All right, so that's what's happening. They're attracted to each other, okay? The negative charges want to be with the positive charges. All right, so let's take another step. Now the storm's going. It's getting stronger. The cloud's huge now. Big, tall, 40,000 foot tall cloud up in the atmosphere. And all of a sudden, pow, the first lightning strike happens. And that's when these guys get right over here close enough to touch them. So you guys can stand right over in the middle of them right over here, okay? And that's how it happens. All this negative charge that started out way up in the clouds over there is now real close to the positive charge. And that's when you see that big lightning strike, and it's a real bright flash at nighttime. That's what's happening, okay? All right, thank you guys. You guys can keep those pieces of paper if you want to. All right, give me a big hand. Thank you. Alright, so that is how lightning works, okay? You can tell your mom and dad about that. They'll be just thrilled. They'll be riveted tonight when you go home to tell them more about that. Alright? Well, let's see. I need to open this up for some questions. I know some of you may have some questions, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to step back down front down here, and whenever I pick you out, I want you to come up front up here, and ask your question that way. You can talk into the microphone so everybody can hear it. So give me just a second and I'll come down. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let's let you be first. She's got princess on her shirt. Doesn't she look like a princess? All right. Okay. Tell me your question. Okay. What kind of storm question do you have, or about weather?
My mom, once this tornado jumped right over me and my mom's house, but we went into our closet.
Okay. So you went into your closet. Was it in the middle part of your house? No? Okay, next time what you want to do is make sure you get into a bathroom or a closet that's in the middle of your house, okay? Alright, so that's where we need to take our tornado precautions. So remember from the video, always remember that. Okay, thank you. How about you in the gap shirt right there? Yes, come on up. Alright. I can tell this young man's got a great question. Alright.
Do you drive the car do you see the tornadoes? Do you film them? Does somebody drive you there?
Well, I used to. Thank you. You can sit down. Now, I used to chase tornadoes, okay? I don't anymore. Well, I do sometimes, but not very often. Most of the time, I work in the weather center with Gary now, okay? And I'm kind of telling our storm trackers, is what we call them. I tell our storm trackers where to go so they can be on the storms. Now, I used to have somebody who drove me, and I used to ride in the passenger seat of the car, and I had a laptop computer and a video camera, and I would take pictures of the storms and send them back to News 9 so that they could show them on the air and show you what the storm looked like while you're sitting at home. So I used to do that, and I will tell you, it was a lot of fun, but it's not for everybody. Some people get scared when they see storms, and some people don't like the storm chase. And it can be kind of dangerous, so I had to do a lot of work to learn how to storm chase safely. Okay, I had to learn a lot about the storms and where they were going. I had to learn about what roads to take and how to stay safe on the roads and be real careful out there. So yeah, I used to storm chase, but I don't anymore. At least not very often. Sometimes By the way, real fast, I go up in the helicopter in a storm chase. That's right. I rode with our pilot Mason Dunn in Sky News 9, our new helicopter, and we go out and take a look at the storms and show live pictures of the storms and what they look like. Okay, let's see. How about you in the pink shirt with the paper airplane? My goodness. That looks like something I made when I was in school here. Probably got in trouble for it by my teachers, too. All right.
Well, for Mom, it was a little tornado, and we hit it into the closet.
Okay, good. Now, if you're in an apartment, did anybody live in an apartment that's in here? You do? Okay, let me tell you something about apartments. Thank you very much, by the way. If you live in an apartment, here's the deal. Some apartments are on the first floor, some apartments are on the second floor, right? If you live in an apartment that's on the second story, you need to get real good friends with the people who live down below you, okay? Or somebody around your apartment that lives on the first floor. That way, if you have to go to shelter really fast, you can get down into that first floor apartment. Because remember, we don't want to be real high up in a building, even an apartment or something like that. So it's always the lowest level in the center part of the house. Okay? All right, let's see. How about you in the gray shirt? You can come on up. All right, what's your question?
Why do tornadoes strike?
Why do tornadoes strike? Well, I'll give you you can head on back and you can listen to my answer kind of while you're headed back. Now, why do tornadoes strike? What happens is you have warm, moist air, okay? That's like when it's real hot and humid outside, you're sweating and it's summertime. Well, lots of warm air has come up from the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico is a big body of water that's down south of Texas, okay? And all that air comes up toward Oklahoma. And then we have cold, dry air up above that, way up high, that comes out of the mountains from Colorado and New Mexico and those areas. And when that cold air gets over top of that warm, moist air, that warm, moist air wants to go up. And it wants to go up really, really fast, like 100 miles an hour sometimes, okay? That's how fast the air can go up through these thunderstorms. And so this air goes up, and if the wind conditions are right, say it's kind of windy here at the surface, well, it's even windier as you get up, like up where the helicopters and jets fly, okay? And that wind starts to turn. And then a thunderstorm comes along, and it takes that air that's turning like this, like if you took a pencil and rolled it between your fingers, that air that's rolling like that thunderstorm is coming along like this, and it takes that air and it tilts it up. So if you took your pencil and were rolling it between your fingers like this, and then you took your pencil and went like that, all of a sudden that rotation is going this way, and it's pointed up rather than going this way sideways. And that's what that thunderstorm does, is it tilts it up, and that's when it makes a tornado. Not all storms make tornadoes, just some of them do. So the conditions have to be just right in the atmosphere for tornadoes to form. Let me tell you, lots of people that have lived in Oklahoma have never even seen a tornado. And we're kind of famous for them. I mean, hey, our school's named after them, right? Trout tornadoes. So they're kind of famous in Oklahoma, but not everybody's seen one. So they're probably not quite as common as what some people might think. Okay, we have time for a couple more. Let's see, let's get somebody from the bleachers. Set up this young man in the red shirt. Right there, there you go. I believe that's very stylish young man right here. Abercrombie baseball. You play baseball? All right, he does play baseball. I used to play baseball too. I was a catcher. That's because I got to put on all the equipment. I was afraid of getting hurt. I was a scaredy cat. All right, what's your question?
If you had short hair, how would you know lightning was coming?
Okay, if you had short hair. Now, if you have short hair, how would you know lightning was coming, okay? Well, if you were outside, what's one of the first things that you might think you might hear or see if you were going to be hit by lightning? Does anybody know? How about everybody just kind of shout it out? Thunder! Perfect! That is the exact answer I was looking for. If you hear thunder and you're outside and you're riding your bike or you're out playing, you need to get inside, okay? Don't wait. If you hear thunder, just because it may not, sometimes people get hit by lightning and it's not even raining on them, okay? Lightning can strike 6 to 10 miles outside of the thunderstorm. I've seen lightning come out of the top of the clouds and go like 6 or 10 miles and come down and hit the ground where it wasn't even raining. The point is, if you hear thunder, it's dangerous to be outside, and you need to get off the playground, you need to get inside right away. That's the best place to be. You can be safe if you're in a car and you're not touching any metal, or if you're inside a house, and you need to go there right away. So that's the thing I would listen for if my hair wasn't standing up. And usually what will happen is you'll hear thunder a long time before your hair will ever stand up. Thunder is the best sign that you need to go ahead and get inside. Because you'll hear thunder most of the time, a long time before lightning ever gets close to you. But that's your sign. As soon as you hear that thunder, you need to go inside. All right. How much time do we have? We need to wrap it up? We're okay. All right. Let's do. I'll tell you what. Let's do 2 more questions. How about you in the purple shirt right here with the flowers on it? Yeah. Come on up, and then we'll get 1 more question after that. And we'll let you guys go home and play and have all kinds of fun. It's a pretty day outside. There's no storms out there today. Okay, what if you have a den and a lot of windows around it is her question. Would you guys think it would be safe in a storm to be near windows? You know why, right? If the storm, even if there wasn't a tornado and there was a lot of wind and it threw a rock or a tree branch, if it broke a tree branch off and flew it into your window and your window broke, you would get covered in glass. So we don't ever get by windows in storms, okay? Not ever. That's one thing you definitely want to be as far away from as you can. Don't be near windows. That's why we tell you to go to the middle part of the house. Okay, we got time for 1 more question. All right. I know you guys, so many of you want to ask questions. Let's see. All right, how about this young man with the number 7 on? Looks like Ben Roethlisberger back here in the Pittsburgh Steelers jersey. Did I get that right? Is that Roethlisberger right there? You look a little shorter than Ben Roethlisberger. Are you sure you're Ben Roethlisberger? He's not. I thought he was going to try to tell me he won the Super Bowl or something.
What happens if you're at school and you have a fire and a tornado?
If you're at school and you have a fire and a tornado, you're in for it. That's a great question. Now, I happen to know that there is a firehouse not very far from the school. Do you all know where it's at? It's right over on Pecan Street, right? I know. Because when I was a boy and I went to school at Trout School, of course, we took a field trip. And I got to go over there and I got to look inside the fire truck and do all that kind of stuff. Maybe you guys have done that too. So hopefully, if there's a fire and a tornado, what will happen? Okay, quiet down everybody so you can hear so I can answer his question. If there's a fire, that fire truck will come and put the fire out, and then you can go down in the cafeteria, right? Right? Do you have tornado drills, and where do you go? Cafeteria, right? That's right. That's where I took shelter when I was a little boy, too. And so you go down there, and hopefully the fire will be put out, and you won't have to worry about both of them. Okay? That's a good question, though. Sometimes a lot of scary stuff can happen at the same time. All right. Guys, it has been a lot of fun to be here. It was so exciting to come back to where I live. My mom still lives right over here, not far from where you come to school every day. And so I'm excited to be here. I hope you guys have a good day, and I really had a good time. All right? Thank you all very much.